very funny, Biff. It's very funny. What's up, guys? How you doing? Happy Friday. Come on with this thing. Hope you're doing well. Welcome aboard. We're going to do some listing tonight. We're going to list some print ad stuff because that's what we do. And I'm going to get rid of this because it's not working. So bear with me 1 second, folks. And welcome to the show. Thank you. Biff is hysterical. Look at that. That's right. Nobody leaves. You're all held hostage. 24-hour show. What's up, CJ? Yes, marathon. We have 25 ads to do from a new magazine, and we have 4 or 5 stragglers from the last listing I did. And it looks like the internet is not behaving again. So what we're going to do, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take down the green screen because it's not conducive to a quality show right now. So hang on 1 second. Let's lose the image. Let's see. Back in black, baby. Back in black. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for coming in. We have several ads left over from a 1908 magazine that I was listing yesterday and today. So I'll finish that off, and then we'll start brand new with a fresh magazine, which is from 1918 after that. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Thanks for coming aboard. I released a video this morning that I recorded. I think I released it at noon or 12:30, but I recorded it this morning per request. It's just a little kind of overview about getting started with Vendoo. If anybody's interested in checking that out, check it out. If you're interested in Vendoo, maybe you just want to get some information. You know, it's very basic. It's kind of, set up an account. Here's how you can cross-post some listings from one platform to the other. Here are some subscription options. There is no affiliate with this in any way, shape, or form. It was asked on the last show, so I threw a quick video together. If you're interested, check it out. It was released today at 12:30. It looks okay to you? Okay, cool. Yeah, there was that like weird lag thing, which happens once in a while when I have a green screen. So how you doing? Outlaw Films. Great to have you. I don't know if that's somebody we know with a different name, which has been happening with some frequency, but if not, and you're a first timer, welcome aboard, man. Great to have you. Hi, Joe. How you doing? And hello, Jim. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming in. We will get started in very short order, actually, because I have everything set up already. So we should be good outside of the shenanigans with the camera that we just talked about. Let me see if this helps. Good enough, right? It really doesn't matter. This is a listing show, so I'm going to be reduced to the little corner in the screen anyway. All right, let us pull up the crazy screen here. So bear with me on this, like that one right there. We'll take down this. We'll take down the welcome aboard banner because it saves some space. There we go. And we will put my image down here. There we go. Okay. Here's my draft screen. And away we go, everybody. So feel free. Again, I'll be looking over to my left on the other screen, the other computer, for any comments. So feel free to chime in with any thoughts. This is one of, I'll take it to the photo thing so you can see how many are left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 altogether left from a 1908 issue of Good Housekeeping. And then we'll move on to this guy, which has 25 or 26 ads. So not quite as long as Biff alluded to earlier. But if we were to get through tonight, we'd be looking at about 30 ads, which is pretty aggressive. And there's really no reason I can't do that with your help. So this first one is the Sherman-Williams. This is an 8-inch by 5-inch. You see what I do, guys? In this, hopefully you can see I know it's probably pretty small on the screen, but what I do is when these ads aren't full-size ads, I'll put the dimension right below it. Like this one, for instance, this Ludwig piano, which is really cool because Ludwig makes drums primarily, at least that's what they're known for. And this is back in 1908. They were in the piano market. I think that's interesting. It's just a 3-inch tall, 2.5-inch wide ad. This one's 7 by 2.5 inches, and so on. So these oddly shaped ones, that's what I do. I save the picture and then I put the dimensions in there. So I'll remember to change it when I pull it up into eBay. All right, so this first one, with that said, I should say, I think we did this, but I put in the particulars just to reiterate. We got January 1908 issue of Ladies Home Journal. This specific ad, 8 inches tall, 5 inches wide. And away we go. Florida Man Jim. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go over here to look at chat. Lisa Piles, welcome aboard. Says first time here. Welcome, Lisa. Thanks so much for coming in. Yeah, Biff, exactly. Ludwig, Beatles, drums kit, and so many others. Bonham, Ludwig. My dad had a Ludwig kit. I had a Ludwig kit. Yeah, I never heard of them being the piano market. I thought that was really unique. So we'll see about pricing on that one. We might jack that one up a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. But welcome, Lisa. Thanks so much for coming in. We're going to be listing some print ads tonight. Thanks for coming in. Everybody kick back with a libation of some sort. I choose Deer Park. It's good water, spring water. Everything is calm. Away we go. All right, 1908. So let's get this one up. This is Sherwin Williams. Sherwin, not Sherman, excuse me. Sherwin Williams. Obviously still in existence. Makers of fine paints and varnishes, as it says in this ad. So we'll put that in verbatim. And for the benefit of Lisa, anybody else that might be new that hasn't seen a listing show, that's kind of the format I use, my standard format for title. I'll put the year first, the branding, in this case, Sherwin Williams, and then antique. In this case, because it's over 100 years, we go with the word antique print ad. Anything from 1923 or 4 on at this point, it was still considered vintage. So the majority of my stuff is vintage, but I've been really pounding these earlier ads, these pre-1920s, the mid to late teens. This one goes all the way back to 1908. I did list, I think the last listing show we did 1905, if I recall. But we will definitely, we'll rock and roll on this one. All right, so let's see what the eBay gods have for us in the terms of category. You can see there is an advertising paint and varnish category that works out well. In my store category, I'll just put household. I think I have one that just says household items. Yep, right there. I say I think like I don't know. I know I have household items. I have a lot of categories, which you have probably all seen. Fill out some quick specifics that we know right away. It's from 1908. It's a print ad. The brand is Sherwin Williams. And it's a black and white advertisement. That's what I use as far as my, denoting colors. I put black and white if it's a black and white ad. I put multicolor if it's a color ad. The microphone handle is in my way of my typing, which is making me type like a moron. All right, there's the specifics are done. Let's take a look at the image itself. We'll blow it up here, full screen, see if there's anything of note. Got flowers on a table, kind of a dining room table. Looks like they are the largest because they're the best paint and varnish makers in the world. Factories in Cleveland, Chicago, Newark, Montreal, London, England, sales offices and warehouses. So a worldwide conglomerate, even 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, in 1908. The right use of paint and varnish represents much the difference. What I do is when you see a wordy ad like this, I just look, I kind of, I don't read line for line. I look for if there's anything cool to pull out from it that I can use in my title, like a keyword. This is just basically, yeah, we're the best, all that kind of stuff. It looks like just a nice image from a living room, from a window or something like that. So maybe I'll just put, we'll keep it really simple, actually, this one. For the home. So probably it. We're already at 77 characters, so pretty simple one to start. Hey, Swamp Fox Ephemera, how you doing? Welcome aboard, man. I have something funny for you, Jeff. Did I scan this one? There's a brand for that's in these magazines with your last name, which we won't reveal because you've changed your name. But those of us who know your last name, there's a company or something that has your name on it. I thought it was pretty funny. So if I don't have it in this batch, I will make sure for the next show I'll do a scan of it and I'll show you. Maybe you have relatives that were in a certain business 100 years ago. Interesting that the Sherwin Williams logo font hasn't really changed. Yeah, exactly. It hasn't. I like their little insignia thing with the globe with the paint falling over it. There's some nice color images of that later on that I've seen many times. I have, several Sherwin Williams ads up. But yeah, you're right. A lot of it is basically the same. All right, so that's it for this one. Really simple one to kick it off. I want to get rid of these 1908s so we could work on the new magazine. I wound up with 30 ads from this specific magazine. I could probably even get more, but in the interest of getting as many magazines up as I can, I get the kind of no-brainer ads. I get those up. We're going to go back to my regular pricing. For this one, it's nothing special. Because I haven't. Yes, okay. And there's the print ad policy. Let's list it. There's one down. 29 to go. Or so. Welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. How was your week? Feel free to talk in the chat, even though you're just watching me list print ads. Glancing over if anybody has any questions or any comments they'd like to make or thoughts. All yours. All right, so that's the last of the 8x5s as far as the ones that we're going to deal with in this magazine. And what I usually do is I just delete the scan out so I know which ones I've listed and which one I have left. Let's get to this interesting Ludwig advertisement. Again, tiny. We're talking 3 by 2.5. That's the first thing I always try to remember to get done is change the dimensions as they change so that I don't have it listed as a 16 by 11 ad and then somebody gets their ad and it's this big and I get a item not as described and have that. 3 by 2 or 3 by 2.5? 3 by 2.5. All right, so we'll get the dimensions out of the way. Little ad, but I also have a video to this effect that basically says it's not the size of your print ad that matters. It's very true. Little ads sell well. If you saw the recent What's Sold video, I had one of these 8x5 ads sold for $40. A railroad ad, a really small one sold for like 20 or 25. I forgot how much it was. So the size of the ad truly doesn't matter. Of course, graphically, it looks pretty to see these big ones that are in color and all, but collectors collect. And if somebody's interested in railroad, ephemera, or for whatever reason, Sherwin-Williams stuff, Sherwin, I keep saying Sherman, Sherwin-Williams stuff, they're not really going to be too concerned about the size of the ad necessarily. It's really just the content itself. All right, Ludwig. For musicians and fans alike, Ludwig is, yes, very famous for their drum kits. This is interesting because it's a piano ad. Ludwig & Co. Let's see if that pulls up anything just out of curiosity. See, eBay agrees with us. See how it pulls up drum kits, snare drums, and antiquarian and collectible. We're going to go out of that. We're going to go to, actually, if I put the word piano, that probably change things up. But for me personally, it's very unique, the fact that I didn't even know they made pianos, and I'm hoping that somebody will find that same uniqueness and purchase this ad. All right, we're going to go through the drill because I want to find the right category. Collectibles. We'll go down to musical instruments. Bam. That's where that should live. And then I have a music category right there. Again, a black and white ad. A lot of them from way back here will be. We're talking Edwardian era. King Edward on the throne in England in 1908. Black and white. An original. The brand is Ludwig. It's a 1908. And for type, we're going to put piano. It's already there. I must have listed some piano ads recently. Yeah, this one intrigues me just for the scare, the rarity, I should say, of the fact that they're hyping up a piano. They also have a catalog you can see down here. Send for a free catalog. Southern Boulevard, New York. I wonder where Southern Boulevard. A full, rich, mellow-toned, high-grade piano at a fair medium price. Fair medium price, as I say. For your home on very easy terms. They even had credit terms in 1908. Don't charge stuff, folks. Whoever bought this is still paying for it. Oh, no problem, man. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for checking in. And yeah, I'll definitely show you that ad, Jeff, next time. Wayne Postamole. Wow, this is strange. Is YouTube acting up for anybody? I'm looking at the different computer right now, and the chat screen, which I have separate, just went completely black on me. Is anybody else having any? And now it came back. Maria sees free catalog. Absolutely. Something I like to cite, and we just kind of spoke to a little bit. But yeah, it's weird. Wow. Is anybody else having issues with the chat screen kind of blinking? That's weird. Large letters look fine. Okay. You guys let me know if there's any technical issues that I'm not aware of. Please bring them to my attention so I can try to fix it for you. Well, again, Ludwig piano. That's the exciting part of this ad for me. If it was a Ludwig drum kit, first of all, they didn't really have drum kits in 1908. I don't believe Drum kits are just, a conglomerate. It's a combination of several different drums. Marching bands used marching band drums. The drum kit is I think a product of jazz, early jazz. Somebody could look that up when the first like modern drum kit was assembled and who assembled it. What shall I put? I might just put drums because they're known for drums. So if somebody searches Ludwig drums, which is much more likely than Ludwig piano, they might be, excited to find something that isn't a drum made by this company. Prenette drums, mellow tone, borrowing some words from there. High grade. Air price. There you go. So I'm going to put up a little bit, just kind of for the novelty of the fact that it's not a drum kit. We'll see what happens. 24. I'll put take offers. Gleefully accept offers. And there we go. That's another one listed. What I might need to do, as annoying as it is go back to this so I can see comments. See, this is where I see comments as well. Hydron, how you doing? You were wondering if there was an issue with YouTube today. Can't play a video from a YouTube you're following. Others apparently can. Just saw comments. I just get buffering. Yeah, same with me. The YouTube screen itself, which is on a completely different computer, it's not even Wi-Fi. It's Ethernet connection that never has a problem. I see the video playing, but the chat is completely black now. And if I scroll on the chat, it kind of brings it back and then it drops out again. Strange. I'm glad you guys aren't seeing any issues. Thank you for confirming that. But that's interesting, Hydron. Yeah, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in. Free catalog, Maria points out once again. Very good, very good. All right, let's create a similar item. And that's 2 down already. Alrighty, let's see what we got left from 1908. We'll go to the next one, and then we'll finish off with these 3 slimmer ads. This is for Elgin watch. Oh, it looks like a stopwatch. We'll check it out. Or the Lady Elgin, 7 by 2.5. So let's just get those dimensions fixed right away. Always want to do that first. If you can have varied dimensions so that they're accurate, and your bar doesn't flip out on you. A tiny timekeeper, a Lady Elgin. Tiny watches, but only one worthy to bear the name. So that is considered a watch. It looks like a stopwatch to me. It's certainly not a wristwatch, which is what we're more familiar with nowadays. But Elgin watch, put that in right away. I might change it to put lady in there, but I just want to get the category set up as soon as possible. See, we have jewelry and watches category here on eBay. Convenient for this one. And do I have a watch thing? I have clocks. Do I not have clocks? This one I did. Watches, that's what I have it under. Watches and jewelry. Okay, as opposed to clocks. So put that in the watch category. It's original. It's Elgin. United States, 1908. Printed. Black and white. I'll refresh the screen and see if it does anything with the chat. Maybe YouTube is acting up. I guess it's possible. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does, welcome to live chat, it says. Okay. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? I see Barbara saying hi. Welcome to the show, Barbara. Haven't been able to join for a while. William F. Ludwig Sr. and his brother Theobald, 1909, patented the first commercially successful bass drum. What's interesting is this predates that. It's 1908. It's a 1908 advertisement. I guess they got in the drum business in 1909, Biff. Region-specific sales. Interesting questions. Washington State today. You know, that leads to a whole bunch of conspiracy theories out there amongst many people that exists, that there's a regional element to what sells and what doesn't. Like eBay turns on, quote unquote, certain regions and turns off, quote unquote, others. I don't know if it's true, but it is interesting, you know, to see a pattern like that where you have the majority of your sales coming from a certain region or state. CJ had a sale to New Jersey. Beautiful. Let's take a look at this little Lady Elgin, a tiny timekeeper. That's all I got to write. So I'm going to write watch. I'm going to put Lady Elgin now that we have established the correct category. A tiny timekeeper. These have sold ephemera packs of small ads, but now I wish I'd kept track of the dates to sell them individually as you do. Would you ever list an ad if you could only say vintage but not a year? I have never run into that personally, Lisa, because I know from where they come because I'm taking them out of magazines I own already. So they're not like just a lot of ads. I know some people probably do that. They sell just lots of miscellaneous random ads, as the kids say, random. I don't do that. My ads come from known sources, known magazines. Does that mean I wouldn't list an ad if I didn't know the exact year? I don't think it would stop me from doing so, but I'm so in the habit of being quite specific. I've mentioned this probably over a year ago, probably haven't brought it up again, but you'd be surprised when it comes to dating these things, how important it is to certain people. There are people that love to collect magazines from like their birth year or their month and year, like, January 1927 Life magazine or whatever. Oh, my father was born that month. Things like that. So I think it's a huge plus to indicate when you have the ability to do so, the specifics of the dating, getting it as close as possible. But to your point and to your question, I don't think it would prohibit me. I haven't run into that personally. I would probably, my inclination would be to try to figure out based on the ad and stuff, based on all the ads I have listed, if I could at least narrow it down to, within a few years, certainly within a decade, put like 1940s ad if it said World War II, obviously, something like that. Biff had 3 nice sales today. Today is struggling. Fall update. Yeah, the fall update came into a world. Lisa clipped them, but you threw them in a bin. Gotcha. Evening off from California. No need to take a photo of the back of the ads. Hi, Vaughn. No, absolutely not. Unless there's another ad there that you want to sell. I mean, I don't think anybody cares about the writing on the back of an ad. It's just what I'm trying to sell a specific ad. I don't really care what's on the back of it. There are one-off time. It happens more than, I shouldn't say it's a one-off. It happens once in a while. We have 2 really good ads. If I have Coke on one side and a Ford truck, I'm just making up anything on the other. Sometimes I'll think for a minute, which one do I want to feature or focus on? But I don't care what's on the back of the ads now. Maria, you did that years ago. You have the July 66 Cosmopolitan magazine. Yep, and you're not alone, Maria. A lot of people do that. They're interested. I've gotten messages from people that are potential buyers. Let's say they buy a specific ad from a magazine. They'll ask me, do you happen to have the blah, blah, blah issue? It's my husband's birthday, my father's birthday, my daughter's birthday, whatever. And of course, I make efforts to find it. If somebody asks me like that, why wouldn't I, right? Then that's a rare case where if they were interested in the whole magazine, I might sell it. Or I would probably try to get over and just give them the cover, where it has a specific date on it and, whoever on the cover, but the date correlates to somebody's birthday or wedding or whatever event they want to, commemorate. That's it for this one. Lady Elgin. Elgin watch ads. It's cool for a minute. You thought you need to dig it up and cut it off. Yeah. Elgin, my watch ads usually sell a little higher than regular, so we'll just go to more bucks on that one. There are certain timepieces and certain watch companies that are very, very, very sought after. We'll leave it at that. There's another ad. Outlaw Films. I thought it said firms. I'm sorry. I can't see at this distance. I'm getting old. Outlaw Films. Have you ever sold newer ads from the 80s and 90s? I have not. I've listed, I think the 70s are my newest magazines. And again, that's not on purpose. I'm not shying away from 80s, 90s, which is now 30, 40 years ago, shockingly. So to a good portion of the population, that's their good old days. And I totally get that. And of course, there'll be things like every other decade, there's going to be fads and stuff that are kind of tied to a specific decade that collectors, who, as we mentioned, collectors collect. Collectors might be intrigued by, Michael Jordan sneaker ads from 1985 or whatever, and video game stuff. And 90s seems like last week to me, but whatever people think are vintage of the 90s, that would, appeal to those people. So yeah, I would absolutely do so. I don't shy away from it. It just happens to be that my collections tend to be much older and I enjoy them. But I would find, I'm often asked in video, like comments on videos and stuff, and even in emails, Would you sell an ad from a fill in the blank? National Geographic? Yes. From a penny saver newspaper? Yes. I don't care what it's from, as long as the ad is, wholesome enough. And, if it's a Playboy, I'm not going to sell a risque ad from it because that's frowned upon on eBay. But if it's a Coca-Cola ad that comes out of a Playboy, I don't care. I don't care from whence it comes. I care about the content of the ad. So yes, the answer is I'll list an ad. I don't care if it was yesterday's magazine, if somebody's interested in it. You tried selling 80 skateboard ads. No one wants them quite yet, but I think they'll have the time. Exactly. These things, as time rolls on, and it sure does, everything will be retro to some group that comes along. All right, there's another one. That's my 2 cents. Barbara says, Lisa, you have a bunch like that. Usually a Google Lens search or eBay search will turn up the date of the ad. There you go. That's a great point, Barbara. Absolutely. I couldn't just let it, personally, it would drive me nuts to just have this nondescript ad and not know where it's from. I'm just so accustomed to being very, identifying every single ad to the date. Because that's, again, it's just because my inventory is my own magazine, so I know where they're from. But it is an interesting point. All right, let's finish off with these. We got 3 of these little slivers here, 16 inches tall, because these are big magazines. They're 16 by 11. So we have a 16 by 3-inch ad, 3 times over. Let's pull up the first one. I can't even see what it is, but we will in a moment. This is for Old Dutch Cleanser, another standby. You'll see this brand all the way through the Great Depression. You'll see Old Dutch Cleanser. I have a bunch of these ads up, some in color, some in black and white. House and soap and detergent, sure, why not? And back to my household category for this one. Again, thanks for coming in, everybody, on a Friday night. I have a big concert tomorrow in a beautiful theater in this lovely state of Delaware. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun show. Sold out, close to. Good idea. You do that with full ads, but blew it out with smaller ones. Lesson learned. Yeah, that's exactly lesson learned, right? Video game ads from 80s and 90s do pretty well. I'm sure they do, Barbara. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You could find, pick your decade. You'll find a fad or something, the innovation of television coming into the world in the late 40s and stuff. So early TV ads will sell just, selling a television and the novelty of it. Wow, a TV. The radio, I have ads that when radio, like this one predates radio, 1908. So an early radio ad will appeal to people. The phonograph ads from this era, from the turn of the century, it's still a pretty new thing, luxury item to have in a home. The talking machine, they call them Victrola talking machines. Name your innovation. There's going to be people that want to collect that and get early examples of those products. So yeah. So if you get to a 90s, is going to be, I guess, internet. AOL might have some kind of marketing paraphernalia. Everybody used to get those stupid discs in the mail that everybody threw out. Well, guess what? I bet you in time, that'll be considered like an antique piece or whatever, a vintage piece, and there'll be people that want to collect that. So everything becomes, as time goes on, desirable and retro and all that. Well, it's about time, Dawn Wright. Welcome aboard. Thank you for coming in. Canada has been well represented. The lovely country of Canada is now, can all breathe a sigh of relief. Dawn Wright has arrived. Thank you, Dawn. Welcome to the show. Does your set list say somewhat standard, or do you draw a lot of songs? We draw from a lot of songs, Biff. It depends on the venue. It depends on the time. Like certain shows are just like a 90-minute show straight through. Certain shows are like tomorrow, 2-hour-long sets with a 20-minute break in between, which obviously will have more songs than a 90-minute straight through, which we did last week. They're all different. They're all different as the catchphrase with the band. They are all different, Biff. It's true. So every show has its own set list, pretty much. I mean, we have standard songs we kind of have to incorporate, but yeah, in fact, the following week, the 6th and 7th, we're playing back to back at this place, and we're doing a brief musical interlude here, courtesy of Biff. The 6th and 7th, we're doing a show at a location where it's like a small dinner club kind of a thing, cabaret club, they call it. The first night, the first show is 2 hours of early Beatles, which we're taking from like pre their first album, like Hamburg stuff, like stuff they used to do in the clubs, 50s music essentially, and covers all the way up to Revolver. So that's the first night. It's like a 5-year period, let's call it. And then the second night is going to pick up from Pepper and go to the end, literally the song, the end. So it's pretty cool. We've never done that where it's 2 distinct shows. That's going to allow for a lot of new songs that we haven't been able to play much. So I'm really, really pumped for that one. Hope that helps. What do? We put our categories in. Okay, this is Old Dutch. Another black and white ad. They're all black and white here in 1908. And I have left are all black and white. Old Dutch ad. Still can't get them to put a print ad as a canned type of advertising. All they have is like sign and something else. Don't know why. I'm going to make a call. Amazes you how well 80s stuff sells. My friend owns a record store and is getting big money from big hair metal bands vinyl. The more obscure and terrible, the better. Yeah. Yeah, because again, it's just, I think it's just a time thing. As every year goes by, something becomes popular again. Whatever. We all fall victim to it, whether we want to believe it or not. Everybody's going to have what they consider their little look back and sigh, oh, those are good old days. And that date and that period is going to be completely different based on your age. So, all right. What is in this ad that we can bring to the attention of our potential buyers? Well, first of all, I picked the wrong one, so let's not do that. Here it is. Old Dutch Cleanser. The Housewife of 1908. There you go. There she is, folks. I mean, that alone. There's the poster child. Housewife of 1908. A far easier time keeping the house clean. It cleans, it scrubs, it scours, it polishes. Hints for housewives. We got a free giveaway, it looks like. Yes, we do. A free little booklet. So send your 22 cents and get that booklet. Yeah, it's funny. Popeye does like that stuff. It's crazy. I hated it when it was new. But again, to each their own. Housewife of 1908. I think that's your catchphrase in this one because it's really just cleaning. Housewife. Modern. I'll put modern housewife instead of repeating 1908 again. What was the word? Free booklet. We'll put in there. There you go. Did we put the dimension? No, see, this is why I try to do this right out of the gate. 16 by 3. These last 3 ads from 1908. Back to our standard pricing scheme. You have very eclectic musical taste, even more so now. Yes, Dawn has been basically listening to every song ever made from, when did you start, Dawn? Was it like ragtime stuff, like turn of the century kind of music? You could go back to Baroque. I mean, it might take a while, but I love Baroque music. Alexa, play Baroque music. That's something I do in my kitchen every morning when I'm making my coffee. A little Baroque playing, a little Bach. All right, what's that one? You can never go wrong with Johann Sebastian Bach's music. He's a great teacher, still to this day. It was quite trite, Biff. Quite trite. Anybody a fan of, throw this out there because I've been borderline obsessed with listening to this music. I liked it when I was a kid and everything, but I'm revisiting it and really enjoying it now. Would be Supertramp. Anybody a fan of Supertramp? Crime of the Century LP? Phenomenal record. Everybody knows Breakfast in America, but Crime of the Century, 74, I think. Great record, man. Crank it up. Very innovative. Really good stuff. I saw Roger Hodgson live in Epcot. How the Mighty Have Fallen. He was doing like the Flower Power tour or something in the spring and the Flower and Garden Festival a couple of years ago. Still sounded phenomenal. Logical Song, of course, right? And a whole bunch of others. Love me some Supertramp, Biff. I really do. All right, this one's nice. We have Baker's Chocolate. Oh, did they really do one? Yeah, that's cool. I do. I really like their music more so now. I mean, anybody my age remembers them pretty well. And the Logical Song was this huge hit. That Breakfast in America was 79. Like half the album composes their greatest hits. Like every song is great. But now that I go back prior to that, one of the first songs I ever learned playing guitar was Give a Little Bit, 12 string. Biff can relate to that. A little song around D and 12 string. That was 77. So I was already playing guitar. I was 10 years old. I remember that song. So, but prior to that, like the one quasi hit on Crime of the Century was Dreamer, a song called Dreamer, which is really interesting. Almost has like a Beach Boyish harmony. You crank that up in the headphones. It's cerebral. Good stuff. All right, Baker's Chocolate. But I do love me some Super. I forgot how much I enjoyed their music, and I haven't listened to like an album in a while. It's really good. Highly suggested. Dreamer is a great song. Don't you know that song? Dreamer. It's really high. Nothing but a dreamer. I love his voice. And then it goes even higher in the chorus. But crazy song. And it was a hit. I think it was their first actual hit. 74-ish. Bloody Well Right's great. Absolutely. Absolutely. They have a tremendous album. They had a live, I remember this, the Live in Paris album. Also, so it was like late 79. It was around the same time that McCartney did the Concert for Kampuchea thing. They came out like the same exact time. Killer concert. Of course, you could look at it, the whole thing on YouTube, I'm pretty sure now. But they are like at the height of their powers. Then you have basically the whole catalog available to you live. Great stuff. All right, let's get to some baking. Advertising print. We should have baking. So we're going to, when they don't provide it to you, just so everybody knows this, where it says suggested, you always have the option to just go in manually. For ads, it's pretty simple. It's just collectibles, advertising, and then you kind of pick where you want to place this. So for me, it's food, and we'll go to baking. Big hit in Germany. Yeah, you were in the 20s and the 70s. I love that band, and I love that song. The song Dream is fantastic. Like, shockingly fantastic. It sounds like kind of like childish in the beginning because it's just a D chord. Dreamer, really, really high. But then they come in with this chorus, far out, and it goes to A flat, I think. Phenomenal. Like it opens up the soundscape, the stereo just opens up. It's beautiful. Like it has sort of a Beach Boyish effect with those gorgeous harmonies and really high vocals. Lovely, lovely song. There's a lot. So you get the live version from 79. If you just go to YouTube and look up Dreamer official video, I think they're lip syncing it from 74, 75. Really cool. All right, we got, we could drill down past this. What is this? Baker's Chocolate. Cocoa. I'd say that's an appropriate place to put this one. So go dust off Crime of the Century or pick it up on eBay. It's probably a relatively cheap album, but it's fantastic. It's my new, I don't know if any of you guys get that. I get like on a roll with a certain band sometimes out of the blue. And right now I'm in a full-blown Supertramp mode. All right, original. Black and white again. That's okay, Dawn. You're allowed. Do you know the song Dreamer, or are you just being funny? That's how the chorus goes. It's almost like Mule Train. Great song. In fact, if I wouldn't get a YouTube copyright strike, I'd blast it for you guys right now. But I won't do that. Oh, yeah, it's raining again. Sure, that was later. That was like 82. Maybe Hydron can confirm that. I think that was later. That was like, I was in high school when that came out. Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Great song. You put your hands in your head out now. Crazy song. All right, what makes this ad special? What can we focus on in this long, skinny ad? You got German sweet chocolate. You got, that looks like more of like a colonial looking woman right there, right? And the reason, I believe, was indicated somewhere above this. It's from 17 something. Not the ad, but the product itself. I think it says like since 17. At least, yeah, since 1780 in Duster, Mass. Worcester and Duster. What's up, Karen? How you doing? Welcome to the show. List and print ads for you. Karen, a big fan of Supertramp by any chance? I've purposely derailed the show talking about Supertramp. I'm rediscovering how much I love their music. I remember Breakfast in America certainly, and whatever album Goodbye Strangers on. Oh, that's the same album. No, what was the one? Give a Little Bit, 77-ish. But I recently picked up Crime of the Century from 74. Phenomenal album. What's up, Kelly? Dorchester. There you go. Dorchester. That's what I would have said. But I wonder why it's Worcester instead of Chester. It should be Dorster. But anyway, regardless, 1780. So you got a colonial looking chick here, right? So it's showing that it's already 125 years old at this point. Baker's chocolate. We got a couple of recipes, I guess, right? Do we have recipes made from selected cocoa? I'll put cocoa in there, by the way. Finest eating chocolate, German sweet chocolate. All right, so they're just kind of hyping up the different types of chocolates that they manufacture. Let's put cocoa in there. I'm going to put, how would you describe colonial pressed woman? Oh, yeah, you're a fan, Karen? Big fan. Love the stuff. Great album. What's up, Sandy? Oh, absolutely. Goodbye, Stranger. Yeah, that's Breakfast in America. Great song. Everything's on there. My God. The song Breakfast in America is great. Goodbye, Stranger. Logical song. What's the other big hit? Give a little bit. No, Give a Little Bit's before that. What's the other big hit on Breakfast in America? Take the Long Way Home. That's the other big hit. Good question, Lisa. Do you think Dorchester requires acknowledgement here? What's up, Keith? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Pied Piper Postcard Plus. Get out of breath saying that name every time. Although Sandy Ready Steady Sells gives you a run for your money. But welcome, guys. Thanks for coming in. List and print ads. We only have this one and one more from 1908. Then we jump ahead 10 years to a whole new folder filled with ads from 1918. A lot of which are color, a lot of which are full pages. They're 16 inches tall by 11 inches wide. Mini posters, as I like to call them. That's pretty much it for this one. What else can you say? Cocoa. Buy it, eat it, love it. If there's room, Dawn will put a town name. All right, and then rounding it out, this is a very nondescript advertisement, but it's the company that, to me, is the reason I would list it. And I'll show you guys right now what that is. That would be the National Biscuit Company, also known as Nabisco. Sugar wafer. Another 16-inch long. That's like a sliver, essentially. 16 inches by 3 inches wide, so I don't have to change my dimensions. Nabisco sugar wafer. Nothing exciting here. It is just wording, nothing else, with a quasi-ornate kind of a frame around it. That's really all there is to this ad. So let's change. I'll leave this category so I don't have to change anything. We'll just go to Nabisco. That's kind of nice when you can stay in the same category. You just change your brand and you're done. 16 by 3. Yep. Let's take a quick look at this one. Then we'll move on to the next magazine. Just a bunch of Yay Nabisco. They're delicious. In 10-cent tins. I bet you that's worth some money. And again, you got that kind of, call the style what you will. I don't know what the style is called. We've had something similar to this. What size mailer do you use for these smaller ads? Well, this one is not very small, Karen, because it's 16 inches long. So it's longer than most of my Life magazines, which are 15. So I use the same mailer for this one. If it's really small, Karen, like some of the earlier ones that I were 3x2, I have a small. I'll show you guys. I have a smaller sized, similar packaging, the non-bendable kind of like photo cardboard mailers, but they're just a little bit smaller. Is that Art Deco, Maria? I'll throw that in because I'm desperate for lines in this ad. There's really not much to say, right? Sugar wafers, bam. Talk about a basic advertisement, but Nabisco's popular. National Biscuit Company, like I said, if you didn't know that. The only reason I remember that is because I've listed many an ad where it says National Biscuit Company. What did I just say I'm going to put in there? Art Deco. Is Art Deco 1908 is Art Deco? I thought that was like, I don't know when I thought that was. Dawn Wright, when is Art Deco? What's the exact time frame? I'll throw it in there. Hang on, guys. I'll go grab that smaller envelope to show you. Not until 1925. Yeah, so it predates that. What would you call that? Hang on. Let me grab that folder for you. Okay, Karen, you were asking. This one is that's an 8.5 by 11. So it's, a little bit smaller than my typical mailer, but this works really well for the other, the smaller size ads. Works great. Same exact structure, very solid. It's just a smaller version of the same ones that I use all the time. Good question. If you want awesome crafts, then Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau, I like it. Can we use that? Pardon my French, literally, because I can't pronounce French. E-A-U, completely copying what Maria wrote. Art Nouveau, why not? I'll go with it. Border, I'll put. We'll go with it. If the art police come after me, I'll just throw Maria under the bus. Just kidding. All right, folks, there we go. 1908 in the books. Thank you for hanging out with that one. And I'll show you what we do when we change up with a new magazine. It's not a new magazine. Same magazine as far as branding, but completely different years, months, all that good stuff. Right, so we're going to go up to 1918. My Ladies' Home Journal, that was the 22nd. Now we're going to do the 23rd. That means it's the 23rd Ladies' Home Journal magazine right now that I've carved up to reap the rewards of the innards. Your mom and I both sold Marlboro ad to the same guy in Spain this morning. Very good. Congratulations. I'm going to change this. I have multi-categories here in the store thing. There's no charge for that, by the way. It's just proprietary stuff for your store. I'm going to change this to 1910s because it's 1918. And here is where I'll make my changes. This is June. Not too much to do. Not 88. June of 1918. We're going to go back up to our full 16 by 11 form factor because most of the ads in this one are full pages, which is kind of nice, especially when you're doing a live listing show. There's more to look at, more to discuss. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Johnny Karate. A few weeks ago, you saw a pretty cool Bugle Boy jeans ad from 88. I love everything from the 80s and 90s. I discovered your channel when researching old ads and realized that selling ads is an actual thing. Indeed, it is. And thank you for coming in. I think I saw your comment to that effect. So welcome to the show, Johnny. Great to have you. Yeah, you said you're born in like late 70s, I think. You said it in the comments, so I'm not saying anything, hopefully, that you want me to say. But yeah, so that makes sense. So for you, 80s and 90s is your retro stuff. Everybody, again, has their own. There's people a whole lot older than me, obviously, that like my late grandmother here, wife's grandmother who grew up and had kids in the 30s, so for her, that's what late 30s was like her hot time. So we were playing music for her from that period. So everybody has their time frame based on when they're born. Welcome to the show, Johnny. Yes, print ads are definitely a thing, and you're watching a live listing show where I am listing print ads. We just listed, 6 or so, folks, I think, from 1908, and now we're moving up to a 1918 magazine, which, let's get rid of the Nabisco ad. Let's open up this folder. You can see I have chock full, 26 more ads. Biff, are you keeping count? These are really nice. Whenever the ad is an atypical size, which these 1, 2, 3, 4 are, the rest are all full pages. It looks like 8 by 5, 8 by 5, 8 by 5, and this one's a 15 by 5.5. We'll go through all of these. Like that's a cool brand, a camera brand from 1918 called Ansco, A-N-S-C-O. Nice balance, about half and half color versus black and white. It looks like. I have to bring this one. Hey, Eric Staley Steps, how you doing, man? Eric, did you ask for the show, for the video, about Vendu? I think it was you. If it wasn't, I apologize, but I could have sworn the other day you had asked for a video about Vendu. Just in case, if it was you, or again, just to reiterate, if anybody's interested in learning a little bit about the basics of Vendu, it's just a tool to use to cross-list items from platform to platform very easily. This is no, I don't have an affiliation with them. I'm not getting any kickback from them at all. I was just asked by, I think, Eric, but he'll probably tell me it wasn't him, to do a video. So I was happy to do one this morning. So if anybody gets any benefit from it, knock yourself out. They have a free version, which allows you 5 imports a month, I think, for free, if you just want to kind of put your toe in the water and check it out. But check out the video if you have a minute, if you're interested. And thanks for coming in, Eric. All right, let's get with these 1918 magazines. Let's pull one in. And then I have the other folder open so we could blow them up. Should we take these in any kind of order? What I do like to stick with, if I can at all, is like products, meaning if I have, 4 or 5 food advertisements, I want to kind of do them all together so I don't have to keep changing categories. It assists with making the listing time go by more quickly and more productively. It's not always an option, but more often than not, especially when there's 25, 26 ads, I'll find, several right in front of my face, this Lux soap. There's probably 2 or 3, and there is Resinol soap. There's going to be 2 or 3 soap detergent ads. I'll list them up in a row. If there's several car ads, I'll list those all in a row. Food ads, and so on and so on. Just try to do like products together, when at all possible. It really does make things go a little more swiftly. This one, I actually appeal to all of you who are watching with this one, because I have never seen this, and I'm excited. Let's bring it in. This is not an ad per se. Now, I've listed articles. I've had that question before. I've listed articles. I have an Elvis article, famously a 4 or 5 page Elvis article when he first came out that was in Life. Oh my goodness, I have a hair on my face or something. Excuse me. It's driving me nuts in my eye. So I've sold that as an article from such and such issue. This one is a 1-pager. I don't know if you could see it yet. Yes, your only gripe with it was just, maybe you'll explain in the video, but end and relist. Yeah, we talked about it, but again, for the purposes of that specific video, Eric, it was really just here's Vendu. Here's like a very super, I use the term high level, just a basic set up an account. Here's how you cross post. We could delve a little deeper into waters in future videos if there's any interest, but the end and sell similar thing within eBay is it's not an issue. It's not Vendu's fault that we're doing these tactics, but they have within Vendu, and start with Vendu first before we get into the details, but you'll be happy to know that there's a tool within Vendu where you can look for duplicates. It'll automatically bring up any duplicate listings, like we spoke to on Monday. Occasionally what will happen if you end and relist the listing on eBay, like a lot of us do every month or every 6 weeks, whatever your frequency is, the original listing is going to kind of stay in inventory within Vendu if you've imported everything into Vendu from eBay. And then your new listing is also going to be there. It could also wind up being in triplicate, because if you do an end and still similar, and it still hasn't sold, let's say in 2 months, you can have 3 copies and so on and so on. But they do have that tool, which is really nice. I used it today, as a matter of fact, which enables you to look for those dupes. So if I see one that's dated, 2022, delete. I just delete it out of Vendu. It doesn't go out and delete them from the other platforms. That's an important distinction. But anyway, yeah, that could be a video unto itself, honestly, Eric. But just, again, a high-level welcome to Vendu sort of video is out there for anybody who might be interested. And thank you for this suggestion, Eric. But back to this stunning piece of paper that I have before me, because I think, first of all, the person this is is amazing. That would be Harry Houdini, folks. 1918, a few years before he died. Harry Houdini, How I Get Out of My Rope Ties. Kind of the secrets of Harry from the man himself, with some, descriptive things. I mean, how many Houdini is, the ultimate magician. I was going to say musician. Magician. Incredibly popular, incredibly collected, all things Houdini. So it's pretty cool to have a little piece of Houdini paper in my possession. I don't even know where to start with this thing. And it's not a print ad. This is just the 1 page. I thought maybe my heart was pounding literally, because I said, oh man, if this is like a 3 or 4 page pullout, wow. The fact that it's 1 page is fine. It's 7 tips, how Houdini gets out of his rope ties, with actual photographs of Houdini and his henchmen there. I mean, come on. How photographs by White Studio, you could say. I know, a musician. There you go. He's a master musician. For all my ephemera lovers and stuff, I mean, come on. Is this not one of the coolest things you've ever seen? That's why I go through every page of these stupid magazines. You never know what you might find. So this one I'm loving. I don't even know if I'm, and you can see this is pretty cool. The date's right on there. So there's no dispute. It's page 105 of the June 1918 edition. Incredibly cool. I don't even know if we want to list this one yet. I really want to do some research, and collectively we could certainly do so. If you guys have any input, I would gladly take any advice, even just like how to word it. Harry Houdini article. It's not, is it really an article? I guess it's sort of an article. You know, Houdini reveals his secrets, something to that effect. I mean, talk about a listing that'll jump off the page. If I'm a collector of this stuff, if I see something like that, man, I would soak this up. Absolutely, Jim. I plan on pricing it up. I just don't really know what I have. How would you word it? Is it? I guess that's an article, but you see, it even says by Harry Houdini. You know, and then it has examples of each kind of rope trap that he escapes from and what he does. Come on. I mean, how cool is this? From when he was alive, you know? He has never employed fake knots, fake ropes, fake chairs, or fake men in my rope ties. A research show would be fun. Well, have at it, folks. If anybody wants to get on and take a look at this thing. I thought it was outrageous. Look at this when he's in the basket. Who wrote before? To Jim's point, Harry Houdini is fascinating. Absolutely, man. Incredibly intriguing character. He was obsessed with death and his mom, his late mother who died, and, you know, famously made a vow to his wife that if there was any way he was notorious for going out and revealing all the scams of all these like seance people and stuff that were just scamming people for money. He would reveal all their secrets publicly and embarrass them. But he was fascinated by death himself, and he promised his wife if there was any afterlife, he would be the one to escape it and let her know. And sadly, that's probably on YouTube too. The last, I think, what was it, 10 years or something from his death, I think. If any Houdini experts are out there, I'm just rambling from the top of my head, but I know every Halloween night, they would have like a seance to try to bring Harry back, and she would record them, and never once did it work. And then the last one, she said something to the effect of, you know, it's been 10 long years, Harry, I'm going to turn out the light. So to her, that proves there's nothing. Just a comment, just saying what she said, that there's nothing out there. Because if anybody could come back, it would have been Mr. Houdini himself. But anyway, fascinating little piece of paper in my book right here. So this one got its own. Usually I put all the ads together. If anybody's watched the, I don't remember what I categorized it at in my video series, but basically it's my storage. I guess it's probably storage. I'll usually put all the ads together in one of those plastic things. This one has its own unique plastic piece. It's segregated from my regular population, so it doesn't get wrinkled or, God forbid, ripped. I just think it's amazing. I don't know if it's a super valuable thing or not, but whether it is or not, I just think it's a really, really cool piece of paper, and I hope you agree. So maybe we'll go back to this one. Let's get some other ads up, but that really genuinely excited me. I was like, man. All right, as we just alluded to earlier, I like to keep like products together. It looks like we got a lot of food. Maybe we'll start with the food stuff, get that out of the way. What do you guys think? Have a lot of personal care products, talcum powder, soaps. We have a Kodak ad. We have some, this is a really nice looking ad. It's a giant oil stove. I just love looking at these things. Like so many of my friends like myself that love the postcard thing, it's for similar reasons, right? These are just kind of bigger versions, and I'm intrigued by it. And it's a piece of history coming into your world very vividly in some cases. Some of the artwork is truly beautiful in these old ads. All right, let's pick I got another oven here. Let's pick some food, and then we'll just go down the list and do all the food ads. Well, who can forget Jiffy Gel? I guess it's Jello before Jello. Don't know that for sure, though. I think Jello existed already because I'm pretty sure I listed a Jello ad in my 1905 magazine. Just straightening that scan out a little bit. But we'll start with this one. You got the Jiminy dust. Congratulations, Jim. Good for you, man. What'd you sell? Anything cool? Any Harry Houdini merchandise? All right, so we'll put Houdini back in his proverbial box, and we will pull in this Jello, which isn't Jello, Jiffy Gel. But there is a category that's called Jello and gelatin ads, which I'm sure this will live in. Jiffy Pop, the popcorn. Jiffy Gel with a J. Gelatin. Say no to gelatin, by the way. Average postcard. That's okay. It's still a sale, right? I sold a couple of average postcards today as well, and I was happy to do so. So you see there's a gelatin and Jello category. We'll throw it in there. It is a food ad. And finally, we can select the multicolor option. Brand is Jiffy. Gel is a print ad. US of A, 1918. So I got to get used to writing that. For a while. There we go. All right, let's open this one up and see what we got. Again, we got coupons and giveaways and aluminum molds and all the good stuff that come with advertising. Send away for this. Send away for this. Buy accessories. To every woman who tries Loganberry Jiffy Gel, just the fact that it's Loganberry is out of control. So we're going to put that in. Anybody know what a Loganberry is? Loganberry flavor. Probably put oh, that's a coupon. It's not a giveaway. Aluminum molds giveaway if we can fit it. Ever heard of Jiffy Gel? Don't know if anybody's familiar with this product. I'm certainly not. First time for me. Take a look on a grander scale here. See, they have a pineapple flavor, fruit juice flavors condensed in glass vials. There's your raspberry, probably quite potent. Let's check this out, everybody. That's a Loganberry. Kind of a hybrid of a strawberry and a raspberry is what it looks like anyway, to the untrained eye. But Jiffy Gel, the supreme dessert. An instant dainty at a trifling cost. You can see the different flavors that they offer. Coffee Jello. Wow. This, of course, would be the Waukesha Pure Food Company out of Waukesha, Michigan, Wisconsin. You thought it was corn. Yeah, right? Look at, well, you can see that it's red now, but that would be the Loganberry, apparently. All right, so there's our first ad from this new magazine. I think that pretty much covers all the descriptive words we could use in the title, keywords. We got 73 characters out of 80. Not bad. We've got our specifics filled out. We have our date updated. We have our dimensions updated. And we have very importantly, my SKU, because otherwise I'd be looking all day and night when this sells. If it's in the wrong one, I'm screwed. So we make sure we keep this custom SKU. If anybody has any questions about my SKU methodology, again, there's a video on my channel all about that. So check that out. It's not rocket science. Ladies Home Journal, LHJ 23. It just means the 23rd magazine, the 23rd Ladies Home Journal that I have so far, that I've cut up and listed ads from. And it goes in a file cabinet under LHJ 23, preceded by 22, 21, and so on and so on. All right, let's list that one. But I'm very happy to see you got some Jiminy Dust. Please bring up a great point if you're enjoying the content, and I know you are. Thumbs up, please, on the video. Let YouTube know. And maybe we could get the word out to some more folks that might be interested in this kind of cool stuff like us. In the interim, go out and pick up Crime of the Century by the great overlooked band. Oh, I forgot to mention this. My chat is live and functioning. All I did was refresh my screen. Everything's working well. I know you were concerned about that. Supertramp. All right, there's the first ad done. We will stick with food just to get all the food stuff done consecutively. So I don't have, that's one less click, if you will, at least. All right, Jello, bam. What's the next food? Welch's grape juice will go in beverages. That's separate. Ovens, coconut shampoos. Here we go. There's a food ad. No, it's not a food ad. That's for Pyrex. I was very shocked to learn that Pyrex was around this long ago, but it even predates this. I think I had, again, a 1906 or 7 ad that had Pyrex in it. You know, the glass cooking dishes. I had no idea they were around that long. To me, that reeked of like 50s, but apparently absolutely not. They were around 50 years before that. So we will not do the Pyrex because that's a different commodity. It's not food. Sunkist is food, though. Oranges for health. Sunkist oranges. some sort of fruit category, hopefully. Fruit and raisins works for me. I must have clicked the wrong one. Fruit and raisins. There we go. Proud to say a multicolor ad. It's original, as they all are. US 1918. Oh, good for you, Dawn. Enjoy your food. Hope you had a fun trip today out in the wild. I am going to fix this picture. You see that little bit of, blow it up. You see that little bit of black there? It just means that when I scanned it, it was a little bit skewed. I wish they had a straightening tool within this, but they don't. Good old photo app here on Windows 10. And yes, I use Windows 10 proudly. I have Windows 11 on the other machine. I have so much going on. I have music production stuff I do on this machine and all that I'm afraid, quite frankly, even though I've been using Windows forever and installed it on a commercial scale for many decades, something about 11 has just been really off-putting to me, and I'm afraid that there's going to be compatibility issues. Like when Vista first came out, it was a train wreck. So we'll see. I know inevitably I'll have to go to it, and then it'll come out with 12. What the heck is this ad? Sunkist. There we go. I'm just going to straighten this ever so slightly so that it's not showing that black thing. You could always use the other lines kind of as a guideline. See the green? Make sure your date is straight. Doesn't have to be perfect, but presentation, I believe anyway, is pretty important. You know, I like to be as neat as possible with this stuff. So I'll delete it and then pull it back in with the new straightened. There we go. That's some more better. Apparently that's some kind of an orange cake or orange pie, which personally to me sounds absolutely repulsive. Well, first of all, this is the Pyrex ad, so let's get rid of that. And strike that whole conversation. That looks so much like it. There is the Sunkist ad. Cooling salad and dessert in one. Let's see if there's some recipes. I usually indicate recipes if there are any. I don't know if this is really recipes. It's more like just here's different ways to have an orange, basically. Children like this. Did you know that? Oranges with dates. I probably would like that. Celery and apples. I would throw up if I hate celery and I hate coconut. So there's two things I'm out on. I would do the dates. Oranges and pineapple. I would do that. Look at the orange in a little sealed in a bag. That's so cute. Balanced diets. Wartime. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Brings us to a wonderful point that I was going to bring up if it reared its head. We were in the heart. Well, not the heart. We're at the end of World War I in 1918. So just like my love of World War II specific items and ads, World War I have a bunch of ads that I've listed recently from World War I era. I will put the word World War I era because it's not really an ad that says anything about the war necessarily, other than a delicious wartime dish. If there was a battle scene, like you'll see a lot more in World War II. If there was, you'll see, I just listed one recently for good money, a nurse, a Red Cross nurse, the boys over there, that whole thing, any kind of patriotism, patriotic stuff, Lady Liberty, go get them, that kind of rah-rah stuff. I'll just put World War I. But if it's of the time, I'll put the word World War I era. And this one certainly qualifies because it does make reference to a luscious wartime dish. So with that said, let's go back to the listing. So after the word print ad, I'll put World War. I use the I era. World War I era. Like salads. Balanced diet. Yeah, it is good word, quaint. Quaintly wrapping every orange. That is cool. All right. So World War I in there, attracting anybody who's interested in collecting World War I stuff. So it becomes more than just an ad about a sun-kissed orange. It might potentially be appealing to somebody who collects World War I stuff. And as mentioned 48 times already tonight, collectors collect. People that collect World War I stuff, they want their World War I stuff. They want everything that has World War I attached to it. So there's that one. But also that was a good example of why you should take a really good look at all the ads you're listing. Look at the little, looks like minutia, the wording at the bottom and stuff, because every once in a while you'll find something like that where it's easy to just blow off. Oh, it's an orange ad. But I always try to pick up, if at all possible, multiple collector groups in one ad. So you have the fruit collectors, so the orange collectors, you have the World War I enthusiasts. So you're capturing several collector groups. To me, that's the ultimate, rather than limiting yourself to just one. All right, that's food. Looks like this is food. I don't even know what it is, but we'll bring it in. Looks like some muffins or something. Old-fashioned strawberry shortcake, courtesy of the Royal Baking Powder. Tons of Royal Baking Powder ads in this era, too. Must have been super popular. Still exists as well. We actually use Royal Baking Powder in our bakery that we own. Slip it. Proprietor, owner. Yanks are coming. The Yanks are coming. Drum. Exactly. Something like that, Dawn. Exactly. That's where I would just put World War One, probably. They're not nearly. It's amazing. It's 20 years before, give or take, right? And 25. You know, they'll speak to war efforts, and if there's any rations in place, they'll speak to that sort of, as far as the, you know, the rhetoric and whatnot, and the advertising of the day of the teens, mid to late teens. They don't get into the as much as you'll see in World War II, of that, like what I describe as battle scenes. You know, like an image or a real photograph. Usually it's a drawing, an illustration of, like, you know, an aircraft carrier. Obviously, there's probably not going to be many aircraft. Probably aren't any aircraft characters in 1915. But anyway, you know, a tank, let's say, which is like modern and very brand new war weapon at that point. You won't see battle scenes depicted. Very, very rarely. You don't even see that many soldiers necessarily. Once in a while, and they look really cool because it's a dramatic difference from the World War II era soldiers. It's the look, the outfit's completely different and cool. But anyway, you won't see that a lot. It's kind of like much more low key. Like that last one, we'll just say, like, you know, wartime food, great wartime recipes, which really means it's a great way to conserve, you know, stretch your food dollar, that kind of stuff. But it is interesting to me how World War II, it really became much more explosive, literally and figuratively, but in the advertising space, you know, they were much more, they hyped up that sort of, you know, the patriotism, the go get 'em kind of mentality. It's interesting to me. And we'll put strawberries. This one, again, super easy, strawberry shortcake recipe, right? Can't fit, that's fine. We'll just put the strawberry shortcake. Goes in baking powder. Bam. We got multicolor again, thank God. Original 19 Royal is the brand. What do resellers collect? I collect vintage marbles. That's cool. I collect records and things I like, I guess. I don't collect them for the sake of collecting them. I collect them to enjoy them. If that makes, I don't know if there's a distinction there, but I collect records to listen to records. I don't collect records just to say I have this record and put it on a shelf for 50 years. 1918. Survey. And as I just mentioned, let me follow my own advice here. Let's pull it up and just see if there's any war reference. A tempting luncheon dish. Another interesting use of terminology. Lunch is short, modern day equivalent of luncheon. And you see all these old ads, they say breakfast, luncheon, and dinner, not lunch. They haven't abbreviated yet. I think that's pretty cool. It's known as a luncheon. I love this. The peas look awesome, and like a puff pastry. That looks, and so does a strawberry shortcake. What do we got down here? Rice muffins. I don't know about that. Rice muffins, but definitely hearty. A lot of carbs. The antithesis of what I've been doing for the last almost 3 months. Actually, it is 3 months now. I've tried to avoid carbs like the plague. Don't write collects ... turtles. Peas and patty. That looks awesome. That looks yummy. All right. I don't see any war references. Anybody see any that I don't? You would think it would be pretty pronounced, right? Change conditions of the war. Bing, ding, 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 ding. What women would be perplexed about, the best recipes adapted to the changed conditions arising out of the war. We prepared 2 booklets. So again, it speaks to, yes, thank you, Karen. Thank you. Like I said, let me take my own advice, right? So we're going to throw in, problem is I don't have room for it. So we're going to blow off strawberry shortcake. Oh, I had World War I era in there. Sorry. Never mind that. I thought I took it out. So strike all that. World War I. Your friend yelled at me to eat bread when I cut carbs. Yeah, I gave them up on June 28th, Maria. I'm down about 20 pounds already. And I really wanted to lose about 25. So I have a couple more pounds to go, but I'm going to maintain it. I just feel better. I've done this several times in the past. And it's just, for me personally, my body seems to thrive on, although I love, like everybody else, I love my pasta, I love my stuff, but it doesn't, I don't know if it's a metabolism issue or whatever, but it just doesn't, it instantly packs on pounds for me. If I was to have spaghetti tonight, first of all, I could probably eat 2 spoonfuls and I'd throw up because I'm so used to not having heavy carbs. They blow up in your stomach like a sponge when you don't eat them for a while. But they just pack on the pounds instantly for whatever reason. Must just be my metabolism. Alrighty. Nice ad there. Biff, you've collected so many weird things. Records, lard tins, that's cool. Pulp papers, yep. Cartoon glasses, salt and pepper shakers, cast iron. You have the best estate sale when I'm... Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll all head over to Biff's place. Picking at Biff's. You sound like a prime candidate, Biff, for... I don't know if you do whatnot, but you sound like a prime candidate for being a very effective and successful whatnot seller with that wide variety of stuff you've collected. Okay, let's get rid of this one. I'm going to keep World War I era. I want to remind myself that I have it in there, but presuming that some more ads might have that. If it doesn't have it, I'll just take it out and I'll put it back in when it applies. You know what I mean? If you look at this at first glance, it's okay. It's a recipe for some baked items. You got to kind of delve a little deeper to see the reference to rationing and war stuff. That's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, I just do well with it. It doesn't take long either. And, you know, my wife gets on me. She doesn't get on me. I think she's envious to an extent. She doesn't have to lose weight, but like she doesn't have that. Most people don't. Like I have an instant, and I'm not tooting my horn. It's just the way I am. If I'm going to do something, I do it. Like if I say, that's it, I'm not going to eat carbs, I just stop. I don't wean off. I just stop. The next day, whenever I'd made that decision, I guess it was June 27th, we got back from Disney and I ate like a pig and drank like a pig. And I said, that's it. The day we get back, I'm doing my no carb thing. And that's how it was. Like the next morning, I made my coffee with no sugar. You know, I do it cold turkey. To me, that's the only way to be. There's no wavering. There's no, just have a piece of pie. No, it defeats the whole purpose of doing this. And the more time that goes by when you're on something, the more I don't want to screw it up for myself. Like if somebody ordered me a pizza, I'd pass. I know it sounds shocking. Like I can't eat a pizza right now. Sorry. You know, there's so many other options and creative ways to get around. I make pizza with no crust. I'm a quasi. I'm a cook. I've been cooking forever. I've been cooking a kid. I cooked for my kids growing up, and there's a lot of very unique recipes to get around things like pizza. Well, basically, you could just melt mozzarella cheese in a pan with some olive oil. It becomes almost like a quasi. It gets crispy and becomes like a crust, and then just put regular sauce in there, mushrooms and pepperoni, whatever you want. Bake it in the oven for 10 minutes, and then you slice it up, and it's like a pizza. It just doesn't have the crust, but you get all that flavor that you love, and it's a carb-friendly dish. If you're going to do something, you do it. That's my mentality. No bag, well, I'm going to dabble in no carb. You don't do that. I don't do that, I should say. All right, what did we just list? The baker's ad, right? Did I delete it already? Losing my thought because I'm rambling too much, but having fun tonight, getting some listing done. Let's see, what other food do we have? We have ginger ale. That's not food. That's a beverage. We have soap. We have, I think that might be it for the food. The food? That seems too easy. Oh, no. This is a unique one. Everybody remember deviled? A little like, they used to have liverwurst like this. The brand Underwood Devil with the devil on it. You can see it. It was like a paper wrapper. Have liverwurst in it. Disgusting. Well, this is even worse, folks. Deviled tongue. Yum, yum, yum. Get yours today. Cold turkey. Yeah, seriously, man. It's true. You just get it over with, right? Yeah, like a deviled ham product. Exactly. Deviled ham, they're famous for, Lisa, but this is deviled tongue. Oofa. Eat at your own caution. Carb friendly, as long as you don't put it on bread. But you know, we'll leave it at that. So this would be Underwood. Used to be in a paper wrapper. We used to get liverwurst and deviled ham, as Maria points out. Yeah, that gets a hard pass on this one. But again, to each their own. The repulsion that I feel about this ad might be appealing to somebody who wants to collect something that's a little off the beaten path. You don't often see deviled tongue available in your supermarket. So the novelty of it might appeal to somebody that collects things like this, food ads or whatever. Deviled tongue. Really don't know what else to say. They used to make an I don't mean to skeeve anybody out. I was a vegetarian for 20 years and I stopped. But anyway, when I was in the heart of my vegetarianism, they literally have a cow's tongue. It's about a 2 foot long piece of meat sitting in like delis and stuff in New York all the time. Very popular, especially with Jewish people. Sliced tongue, like you would go get a pound of ham, a pound of salami. People will get like a pound of sliced tongue and put it on bread. And I'm sure once it's all sliced and you don't see the actual physical tongue, which just makes you want to vomit. At least it made me want to vomit. You probably wouldn't know the difference. It would taste like pastrami or any other meat because it really is just a muscle like any other meat product. But man, that's a tough visual when you see in the your deli counter a tongue, a gigantic 2 foot long cow's tongue. It's just I don't know. It makes me question humanity at some point. Anyway, let's just for fun gonna pull this one up and let's see if there's a war reference. Not that this needs any more hype, but we'll check it out for fun. We see patriotic act. I'm thinking this has war effort. And these conservation days, there you go. This speaking again to rations and whatnot. In these conservation days, when our fighting men have first call on essential food. And this is a perfect example of the difference between World War I and World War II when it comes to advertising. It's downplayed. The war element is downplayed. It's not in any way pictured. There's no, planes flying. There's no trench warfare featured. It's silhouettes of people in their home as the maid brings over the tongue. It's the image itself of a sandwich and the product. There's no overt, messaging speaking to a war in World War I. Very few. World War II, it's basically the opposite. If this same product was sold in World War II and it was talking about conservation and our fighting boys and all stuff, there'd probably be images of, soldiers with guns in their hand, and then in the corner be, oh yeah, by the way, this is for deviled tongue. I think it's a very interesting, just an interesting phenomenon to me. So yes, we will stick with our World War I for this one. World War I reference. The tongue is pound for pound the strongest muscle. There you go. Thank you for that. Keep it in your mouth, not on your bread. That's all I'm saying. I'll just put sandwich. Again, if somebody loves tongue out there, enjoy your tongue. Who are we to judge? I'll tell you who we are. We're human beings. No, I'm like devil tongue. No, I am going to get rid of all this for the purposes of trying to find. No, I'm not. Forget it. I'm going to go in the manual way because I doubt it'll be. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, let's see if there's like a meat category. We'll just go other food and beverage. If anything has ever fit the term other food and beverage, I would say deviled tongue falls into that. Black and white ad in this case, but still full sized. It's original. It is Underwood. That would be the brand. First of A, 1918. Ad. Yes, we're going to mark this guy up just a tag, just a tick for the novelty of tongue, right? That one. Yeah, as Lisa says, more bizarre the better. I agree with that. It's just more appealing, right? It's scarcer. Scarcity usually is a huge component in value of something. The scarcity, supply and demand. How many deviled tongue ads are out there? Can't be that many. You've had lengua. Oh, is that Spanish or Italian? Lingua, I think, is Italian. You just can't think about it. Yeah, you can't think about it. Like that's any better than eating a shoulder or a belly. I mean, choose your poison. It's all pretty barbaric if you really think about it. Hence my vegetarianism for 20 years. But I digress. All right, let's list it. They're going pretty quickly. 7:30 already. Hour and a half on the program. Thanks for everybody who's checked in, contributed. Please do leave that like, thumbs up. Get yourself a sale. And thanks again for coming in, hanging out with me tonight, contributing to the show. Got to figure out what to do with this Harry Houdini ad, man. Let the devil slip you the tongue. That's funny. Where's our repulsive tongue ad? Deviled tongue. I don't think I've ever used the word deviled tongue prior to tonight in my entire life. Those words have never escaped my my lips until tonight. That might be the food ads. You can have a Pyrex, which is obviously an offshoot. We have a Hot Point. I think it's like a percolator right there, coffee percolator, which I've listed before. Do we have any other proper food advertisements? Oh yes, there's a cereal ad here. It's a different size though, so we're gonna do that later. Let's get all the full size ads up first. Houdini's still staring me in the face. Somebody do some research for me on Houdini. Let's make some money on that ad. There's a nickel in it for everybody out there who's no, I'm like kidding. All right, so we've left the world of food. Let's slide gracefully into beverages. We have Welch's grape juice, and I'll show you what I do. I've had this question too. Here's the original scan. It also includes a boo-boo that I made. So it was a great opportunity to show you the real world life of print ad. You know, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into producing these wonderful pieces of art for people. Where the heck is this ad? Oh my God. My eyes are really going. Welch's, here we go. This is the original scan. What do we see here, folks? Wah, wah, wah. You see that boo-boo right there? Pull it back up. See this boo-boo? I did this boo-boo. I was ripping these older magazines. This one specifically didn't have staples in it. It's bound with glue and kind of a string concoction. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a webbing of string, essentially, like hardened, glued thread almost. That's the spine of this specific magazine and all the ones that are like this. So it's a little harder to get the paper removed from these things. As you see in this example, I'm always trying to be very careful. This might be another video because I don't think I've ever done a video about how to remove ads from a non-stapled magazine from one that's more of a glued spine situation like this one. Basically, long story short, as you see, I screwed this one up, and when I pulled it, you have to pull it very gently and go slowly. I must have rushed at the end, and I took a little chunk out of this. No harm, no foul, though, because this ad is half a page, as you see, right? So here's how we're going to tweak it for the purposes of listing. And then if it sells, when it sells, I'll just trim off this piece right here. So for the purposes of the scan, rather than cut it first and waste time, I just scan the whole page. I trim it virtually for the purposes of listing it, right? Make it pretty. And same thing on this side. So you can see it's still a completely intact advertisement. I'll just trim this off physically when the thing sells. Save that. And now it looks much better to present. That's my ad that I'm going to put up on eBay. Magazine and books were bound the same way sometimes. Yes. A nickel get out? Yeah, Kelly. Yeah. Nickel. Kelly wants more. Just joking around. All right, let's list this one. Why not? Welch's grape juice, since we're talking about it, right? I know it's a different form factor. This is, did I not? Yeah, I know. This is 16 by 5.5. So what the heck? Let's pull it in since we took the time to trim it. Where the heck is it? Let's cancel and go back. There it is, Welch's. Little girl with a bow in her hair. Another classic of the era child's image. Welch's grape juice, known as the national drink, it says. Let's see what beverages is fine. Yep, it's definitely a beverage. Poor man's wine is grape. Grape juice is really good. A good ice cold glass of Welch's grape juice over ice. Oh, it gives you that like kind of in the mouth when you drink too much of it. I don't know if it's like sticky. I don't know what the wording is, but God, it's good. It really is. It's wine without the alcohol and a lot sweeter. All right. Welch's would be our brand. It looks like that's all we have to change because we're in the same world of food and beverage. No, we're not. I changed it to beverage, didn't I? That's weird. Oh, no, food and beverage. That's fine. Okay, great. So that's all I have to change in this case is the branding. Makes it simple. Let's change those dimensions so I don't forget. So this is 16 by 5.5. Grapes have the highest sugar content of any fruit. Thank you, Biff. Biff, just a fountain of knowledge. Or really quick on the draw with Google. Either instance, that's appreciated, man. I love the little factoids like that. It's very cool. Makes sense, right? They are pretty sweet. But God, anybody else love an ice cold glass of Welch's? When was the last time I poured myself a glass of grape juice? Man, they even have white grape juice. Kind of like white wine. Let's pull this up because you know what I'm looking for. Don't mention the war, Faulty Towers. Every girl and boy should ask mother to write for the Welch Ways book of recipes. Yes, they should. And look at this, Dawn Wright. They have a Canadian plant in St. Catharines, Ontario. Any war reference? Concord grapes. Welch's at the soda fountain. The good old days. Or a nickel, to Kelly's point, probably get you a nice cold glass of grape juice in 1908. 1918, excuse me. I don't think there's any World War I reference. A mighty tiny is a little girl. And look at how small that glass is. It's like a shot, basically, of grape juice. But a nice illustration there, right? Kind of like a Dutch boy sort of haircut. All right. Earl. Hair. Concord. Grapes. Normal pricing. Is on a platform of national welfare. Might be an oblique reference. Interesting. As a kid in the 70s, as I was too, Jim, I could get my skinny arm into the soda machine and apply the Welch's. Oh, man. After like a little league practice, sure. Coach would go out. We used to have like a little stand, like I'm sure a lot of little leagues did. You had like a stand where like the moms and dads had to like volunteer once a week. And basically for me, it was like hot dogs and Cracker Jack, actually, believe it or not. And yeah, some like grape juice or a soda. Good stuff, man. Love baseball. All right, listed. Speaking of food, I'm starving right now. All right. Lid there. A couple more, and I'll probably call it on evening so I can forage for some sort of non-carb related nutrition. All right, we'll go back to our full size. So we got the food and drink. Oh no, we have another beverage. Let's do this one. Clicquot. We've had this brand before. It's popular. CLICQUOT Club Ginger Ale. Sold several of these ads. Clicquot Club. I think the T is silent. Oh, that tongue talk. Yeah, it must have been the tongue talk. I got a hankering for some sliced tongue with sauerkraut on some seedless rye. 30 more listings until we get to eat. I know, right? Ginger ale has its own thing. Or it did. All right, we'll go soda. Canada Dry has its own, I should say, ginger ale. Soda's fine. Beverage is fine. Clicquot. Not Coleco, but Clicquot. Brand. Clicquot. Ed. Original 18. Good. Let's put our dimensions back to normal. Always got to remind myself to do that. Most of the rest of them are all the 16 by 11 full pages. Clicquot Club Ginger Ale. Hand physically. That's a nice looking image, actually. Let's pull up the full one. Pull some cool keywords out of this guy. Bottoms up. Crowd goes nuts for their ginger ale. In Millis, Mass. Pure sugar. Net measure 15.5 fluid ounces, made from Clicquot spring water, highly carbonated, flavored with the finest Jamaica ginger with dashes of pure fruit flavors. Sounds pretty delicious, doesn't it? Clicquot, thank you very much. Dawn Wright, representing our French pronunciation. Hard physical effort where the work of play brings the pleasure of thirst-quenching. Clicquot Club. What are we going to call this? Partying circa 1918? Bottoms up to the glasses of Clicquot Club Ginger Ale. Dawn, look at this. Pronounced Clicquot. You can have all the tongue you want on a no-carb diet. Right? As long as you don't put it on a slice of bread. Slice that tongue up, a little Golden's mustard, dunk it in. You know what I mean? I'd go sauerkraut probably, like I would do with a Reuben. It is true. I hate to say it, but you probably wouldn't, if you didn't know it was tongue, and it was just served to you as some sort of sliced hot meat product on a piece of Italian bread with mustard and sauerkraut, you'd probably devour it and say how good it was. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Just lean them forward towards you, Jim. Never know what you get into. How would you guys describe this? What does it say? Hard physical effort, work or play. Interesting. Looks like they're just hanging out like a party. I'm just going to put party. There you go. Hot meal product. There you go. Yeah. Kind of like Spam. God only knows what's in Spam. It's like floor scrapings, literally. Innards, hooves, stuff like that. Hair. All churned up. Oh, my God. The stuff we eat, people, let's be honest, it's just repulsive. Now, I don't eat Spam, but to those who might enjoy Spam, that's a nice ad. This one gets priced up because I've sold a couple for more money. And in fact, this is a color one. A lot of the ones, I think I've only sold the smaller ones, like a black and white 8x5 or smaller. So I think this is the first full pager I might have come across in color. So we'll go for 20 on that one, see what happens. Again, we take offers here. Make me an offer. Lisa, tongue. Thinking the same, Lisa. Lisa simply writes tongue. And Jim is apparently on the same wavelength, agreeing wholeheartedly. The Harry Houdini page sold on eBay for $45. Oh, yeah, very cool. Thank you. PSOT. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. What is PSOT? Was it a buy it now, CJ? I figured it's good money. I guess I'm going to put article. Like I was debating how to, it's not an ad, it's not an advertisement. Plus shipping on top. Thank you, sir. Very, very cool. Sorry, I didn't get that one. There's a ginger ale ad. Which is down here. Do we have any more? Usually there's a booze ad or two. I don't think I see any booze in here. What's up with that? We're not even in Prohibition yet. Listerine, that's pretty much booze. Listerine, of course, everybody knows. We talked about this. It used to be, the blue liquid that they put combs in at the barbershop. Surgeons would use the same kind of fluid to disinfect their tools. Well, that's basically the majority of what Listerine is and mouthwash is. Hello, Mrs. Slippet. Why are we talking tongue? Because we just listed a 1918 deviled, you've heard of deviled ham, deviled tongue advertisement. Kelly, I concur, man. Let's stop talking tongue. Kelly's getting repulsed here. Beef tongue, though, it's a thing. It's a very Jewish thing. And having grown up in New York, and any good delicatessen, they would always have a big old tongue literally sitting there next to the ham and stuff. Oh. Boop. All right, I think that would be the food and beverage for this evening. I don't see any other. Yes, we do. We have let's do the cereal. Since I already went out of the realm of the full-size ads, we'll do this last one. This is a puffed rice dish, lilac time. Puffed rice, puffed corn, puffed wheat. Let's see who the makers are of this fine cereal. Oh, the gabagool. Gabagool is disgusting too, but I grew up with it. It's just fat. Circles, literally circles of white fat. They don't even pretend it's not fat. Where's the gabagool? Do we have a maker here? Nut-like uses. Floated milk. Does not look appetizing. Looks like some bacteria. Let children grow to their full potential. Puff rice. Is there no branding here? I guess, is lilac time the brand? There's a new one for me. Look at the size of those cereal puffs, folks, with the raspberries. Or boysenberries, maybe? Who knows? I like time. Obscure 80s band. No, Biff, no. It's not Tulsa time, Eric Clapton. Used to puff rice at the place you work back. Oh, yeah, you used to actually do the puffing of the said rice. We only have one car ad, Karen. Believe it or not. Usually my shows are laden with car ads. We have one car ad from this magazine. All right, so we're going to go with Lilac Time as our brand, I guess. I thought that was some sort of description, but nope. Lilac brand Puff Rice cereal. Good night. Puff cereal because it's puffed rice, wheat, corn. There is definitely a cereal category. Other cereal that suffice. I did. Oh, I used to like Sugar Smacks as a child, though. I'll tell you that. Super Honey wasn't Super Honey Crisp too. The bear on it. Food. Getting a little dopey, folks. Tired, hungry. Right. Show tomorrow night. I can't wait. Lilac Time. I have to look. Is anybody looking that up for me? Lilac Time. Is that really a brand? I'm going with it, but there's nothing else I could see on the paper, and there was no World War One reference. Since we really don't have much else to talk about, can't hurt to just have it in here. It is of World War One time, so that is not a false advertise, a false statement. It's a valid statement. What is the dimension on this one? 15 by 5.5. Let's fix that one and get it listed. Printing money, baby. We'll go back to our standard pricing scheme. Lilac Time is a super old song. It's a good Clapton song called Tulsa Time. It's not a very old song. Again, relative to me. Relative to somebody who was 12, they probably think it's a very old song. All right. We'll see if we can make it to 8 o'clock, which would give us a solid 2 hours and a bunch of ads, right? Not bad. Not bad for what you paid to take part in this show. Only price you paid was a queasy stomach from talking about cow tongue for 20 minutes. But outside of that, it's been pretty painless. All right. What should we do next, folks? We have soap. I heard Karen cry out for a car ad. I think I have a car ad. Maybe I don't. Oh my God, this could be a first. Do I not have? Oh yes, of course we do. Woof. Coming up empty on Lilac Time as a company. Yeah, no, it's a strange one, right? But did you guys see any other? Pull it up one more time. Do I still have it? Yeah, we do. And pull it up in the folder so we could take a look at it. Sometimes they'll sneak at the very bottom, Quaker or something. This says nothing at the bottom other than 1899, which maybe that's when the company or the product was made, which is only 9 years before this. No, it's not. This is 1918, right? So it's 19 years before this. 15 cents, except in the far west. Just puff. So generic, right? Just puffed. No, super puffs or anything like that. No wackiness. No tigers. No gimmicks. A table, flowers, raspberries, and some puffed greens. What else do you need in life right there? See, there's just no indication whatsoever about a brand here. Every dish of berries calls for these crisp, flaky bubbles. So the only reason I'm going with Lilac Time is because that's the only thing we have here. Puff rice dishes for Lilac Time. You know what? These are lilacs, aren't they? Is this lilacs in the flower thing? Janine, I dream of Lilac Time. And there's the link for those of you who want to crank that right now. Lilac might just be with is that a lilac featured here with the doily underneath it? Whatever. I put Lilac Time. Whether it's the brand or not, who cares? I don't think there's any demerits. We're going to go with Lilac Time until proven wrong. All right. What do we got next, folks? We'll do a couple more. It's 7:45. Maria enjoys the words globules and exploded. Well, I mean, who wouldn't love that? Let's do the car ad for Karen Young. Special request. Willys and Jeeps. Overland. Hello, Mrs. Flippit. Hello. The thrift car, model 90, which, believe it or not, I have listed. So let's just get it into the right category, which is Jeeps and Willies. Jeeps and Willies. Welcome home.
Thanks.
Nice shirt.
I got pants to match it.
Did you really? You just ordered it?
No, I'm going.
Ah. Mother-in-law Flip It. Always buying Mrs. Flip It. Brand new.
This
Lovely.
Is Winnie the Pooh.
That's Winnie the Pooh. And Tigger too. No, just Winnie the Pooh.
Just Winnie the Pooh.
1918. And we already read it was model 90.
Winnie the Pooh was born in 1926.
It was. So was George Martin, producer of the Beatles. So was Jerry Lewis. So was a whole bunch of people.
Cuter.
So was Mel Brooks.
Come on, Sherlock.
All right, so there is our vehicle. We're going to see if there's any reference to Zavor. If there is, we want to say. If there isn't, we're still going to leave it in because it's 1918. In it. There we go. The thrift car, we got a ruler. Why that's there, I don't know. Women know the size of a dollar is not measured by a ruler, but what it buys. This car is designed solely for women, apparently. Here's the Sherlock. Hi, baby. He's a good boy. Model 90. Do we see it? Does anybody see any war reference? Hello, Munchkin Head. Is mommy home? Yeah, he's a good boy.
Hi. You like that?
Vintage Vaughn.
That's for Dawn.
Oh, that was for Dawn. Okay. There's your Sherlock moment. It's brought to you by...
That's Sherlock.
It's brought to you by Lilac Time Corn Puffs. All right, the Model 9, thrifty, so cheap, ruler, etc., etc. Holy Toledo, out of Ohio. Thrift. How did they spell thrift? T-H-R-E-I-F-T. T-H. Is that correct? No war reference is correct. Thank you for that confirmation, though, Lisa. Oh, no. Yeah, the thrift car. I always think it's funny that so many of the car ads I have, the word car is often not in the description, which is lunacy if you think about it. I put automobile sometimes, but we'll use thrift car. I don't even know what else to put. Dollar. Ruler. Well, the ruler aficionados out there. Spaceballs was hysterical. I saw that in the movies. Comb in the Desert is funny. Very funny, actually. They got the pick. We ain't found nothing, sir. Man, I haven't seen that in... When did that come out? I was in college. 87-ish? Appeal to women, says Lisa. Does the Overland Willie Jeep. All right, car ads again. Get the car premium placed on them. Just by virtue of being a vehicle, it's going to be a premium price. And I do. Oh, please. If it's Mel Brooks, I've seen them all. I love Mel Brooks. Young Frankenstein, one of the best movies ever made. Funniest movies ever made. Produces is great. I know me some Mel Brooks. History of the World. I was crying laughing, and I saw that in the movies too, and I was hysterically laughing at that. See Hitler on Ice at the end. There was supposed to be a next History of the World Part 2, which never came to be, but see Hitler on ice, and they show him like ice skating. I was cracking up. I thought it was hysterical. Brilliant humor. Mel Brooks still with us, thank God. Most of his contemporaries have left us, unfortunately. Mel is still kicking. With that said, look for Mel Brooks' obituary coming at you soon, probably. I just gave him the kibosh at 97 years old. Kelly Googled, and it says automobile was the primary word used until about 1940. Then car was the more modern term used. But don't always believe what you read on the internet. So that's very true. However, it's a good, reference point. It makes sense. You can see this ad from 1918 uses the word car, thrift car. So much for the Google and Wikipedia. To hell with them. Car ad listed. There you go, Karen. Hope it was as fun for you as it was for me. We'll do one more. I guess it's almost 5 to 8. The iron is crazy. There's this giant iron I wanted to show you guys. These are smaller ads. Listerine. Let's do Listerine just because of the image there is kind of nice. I think it's an actual photograph, but we'll take a look closer. This is 8x5, so let's fix the dimensions so I don't. You see why I do this, right? Because if I have 16 by 5.5 and it's an 8x5 ad, somebody wants to get angry, they could say, I thought I was buying. I would be angry if I thought I was buying a full page ad. It was only 8x5. So I always try to make sure I remember to change that. In fact, I don't try. I do. I always change that because I don't want to get caught up in any nonsense. Never ever have had a return on a print ad. Yes, I did. I had one infamous one where the lady said, "Love the ad. Thank you so much. My husband didn't like it and told me to return it." I just giggled at. I returned and then resold it. Outside of that one, I've never had a return. Septic. Even the term antiseptic is disgusting when you think about what that means. Listerine. That cool, refreshing drink. Lemonade. Eddie Murphy, Delirious. Used to know every word. What am I listing? Personal care I have. What do I have? Health. Do I have like a health one? I forgot. First aid or something. We're going to go with personal care product. I think that's a good definition of what a mouthwash is. Goony go-go. And they slam their face in the water and they come up with a fish. And I say, how's that? I know every line. If I watched it once, I could. I've forgotten over the years, but my God, I used to know. We used to recite every line from that movie. There's another movie I know. It's not really a movie; it's just a concert film. But Ice Cream, of course, sure. It also came out on cassette. There was a soundtrack, if you will. It was the whole thing. The one before that was great. He had a Raw was after it, and then there was a audio that came out in like 82, 81 or 82, and he was on Saturday Night Live. It was great about the talking cars. It was 82 because he says, "This my car is an 82, and it talks to me. Ding, your lights is on." Very funny. Eddie Murphy was awesome when he first came out. He really was phenomenal. Listerine. There we go. Interesting. This is not mouthwash, folks. It's a safe antiseptic used for boo-boos. No cut or scratch too slight to require a cleansing application of Listerine. No wound too serious. So we're talking little kids, boo-boos, Listerine. So strike the whole mouthwash. Let's get that out of there. But it does show you what we're drinking. Some of us. All right, I don't have the word mouthwash. Good. Listerine antiseptic. Children. Cuts. What else would you say? Cut or scratch. Let's put scratches. What was the 82? Somebody look that up. Eddie Murphy. It was a soundtrack. It wasn't the movie. It was just a record, comedy record. Same year, and Rodney Dangerfield had a great one the same year too. Children's scratches. There you go. Sounds good to me. Yeah, the hot tub. With Dr. Joyce Brothers in the hot tub next week. What happened to her? She might have died. Uh-oh, look who's watching. Covert mission there. I won't say anything, man. Shh. Somebody's watching us. Bum, bum, ba, bum, da, jump back. Want to kiss myself. She's out of my life. Remember he does the Michael Jackson impression? That's hysterical. Tito, give me some tissue. It's funny. It's very, very funny. All right, folks. That be the last ad for for tonight's festivities. Yep, he was in earlier before, believe it or not, before you were here, Dawn, and he had to go do something highly secret. But apparently, he's back covertly, just in time to say goodnight. But let's save this. I'll continue with this later, probably tomorrow. Big Beatles show tomorrow night down in Delaware in a lovely old theater. That dates to around 1918, actually. Let's get rid of this. Black background due to the issues earlier in the day. Enjoyed the show. You're about to list a bunch of stuff. I'm glad I inspired you. This is a lot of fun. I was a lot of joking around tonight, but hopefully you get the drift of what the shows are like. It's usually very interactive. We discuss keywords and things, or certain, like the Art Nouveau versus Art Deco thing. Dawn's always great with that. The great Winter Crow, who was a fixture on our show for a while, was really, really well versed in that kind of stuff, different art movements, all that kind of stuff. It's been a lot of fun, folks. Hope you have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday night for a chat show. Again, check out the video if you have any interest in learning anything about Vendu. I released a video this morning about that for Eric by request. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you have a lot of sales. Leave any comments, questions below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't had an opportunity to leave a thumbs up, please do on your way out the door. And I will see you on Monday night. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.